This is comprehensive problem. Question number 1. A, B and C are in partnership. The following is their balance sheet as at 31st/12/2014. On which date they dissolve partnership. They share profit and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. Liability side, creditors 80,000, A's loan 20,000, capital, A's capital is 1 lakh, B's capital is 50,000, C's capital is 70,000. The total of the capital of all the partner is 2,20,000, premises 1,36,000, furniture 4,000, stock 60,000, debtors 1,20,000. The total of the balance sheet is 3,20,000. It was agreed to repay the amount due to the partners as and when the assets were realized, namely March 1, 2015, 60,000. The assets realized, 60,000 worth of assets realized. Then 20,000 the firm gets at on April 1, 2015. June 15, 2015, the firm gets 1 lakh out of the realization of the assets. Okay. Prepare a statement showing how the distribution should be made and write up the cash account. First one, we have to calculate the absolute surplus. Partners name A, B, C. Their profit sharing ratio is 5:3:2. Capital amount is 1 lakh. A brings 1 lakh. B brings 50,000. C's capital amount is 70,000. Capital per share. Okay, to find out the basis capital. 1 lakh divided by 5 is 20,000. 50,000 divided by 3 is 16,667. 70,000 divided by 2 is 35,000. So this is the least one, and so this should be, B's capital should be taken as basis capital. Then we have to find out the surplus capital. Balance due is 1 lakh rupees for A, 50,000 rupees for B, 70,000 rupees for C. Then basis capital is B. Okay. B's basis capital is 16,667. So if we multiply 16,667 into 5, the amount of capital amount of A should be 83,335. But he brought how much? 1 lakh rupees. The excess amount is 16,665. So here the 16,667 into 3 is 50,000. We don't need to calculate B's capital because B's capital is taken as basis capital. Then go to C. C, 16,667, his share is 2. So 16,667 into 2 is 33,335, but he brought 70,000. So the excess amount that is called surplus is 36,665. So 1 lakh minus 83,335 is 16,665. Here 70,000 minus 33,335 is 36,665. So between A and C, we have to find out the absolute surplus. The first step, we have to calculate basis capital. Second step, we have to calculate the surplus. Third step, we have to ascertain the absolute surplus. Let's see. Then we have to find out the absolute capital. Surplus of A is 16,665 and C is 36,665. Okay. Then we have to calculate, or we have to ascertain the basis capital again by way of dividing his share, the share with the surplus. Okay, the surplus amount should be divided by their share. So A's surplus amount is 16,665. If we divided the 16,665 by 5, the amount is 3,333. Per share amount is surplus amount is 3,333. If we divide 36,665 by 2, the surplus is per share is 18,333. The least amount is 3,333. That should be taken as basis. Okay. So 3,333 into 2 is 6,665. Okay, as per the basis capital, C's capital should be 6,665, but he has brought a surplus, that is 36,665. So when we compare A with C, C paid excess amount to the extent of 30,000. So from 36,665, if we deduct 6,665, 30,000 rupees he paid more than that of A. Okay, higher than that of A. So absolute surplus is C's capital to the extent of 30,000 rupees. Then we will see how the firm is distributing the realization amount. Okay, first one, balance due. No cash in hand and cash at bank. Okay, so nil. Here creditor is 80,000 rupees, A's loan is 20,000, capital is, A's capital is 1 lakh, B's capital is 50,000, C's capital is 70,000. So this is the capital amount. A's capital 1 lakh, B's capital 50,000 and C's capital 70,000. First realization amount is 60,000. Okay, the first realization, they are selling the assets and they are getting 60,000. Okay, that 60,000 should first goes to settle the creditors. The firm should use this realization amount to settle the creditors because they are external liabilities. Okay, 60,000, the whole 60,000 is paid to creditors. Here the partner's loan and partner's capital account, they don't get any amount out of this first realization. So the balance due is total realization amount. First realization amount is 60,000. That is used by the firm to settle 60,000 to creditors, and so the balance of realization is nil. Then creditor is from 80,000, the creditors are paid 60,000. So the balance due to creditor is 20,000. A's loan, the whole amount is due 20,000. Capital amount, the entire amount is due. A's capital is 1 lakh, B's capital amount is 50,000, C's capital amount is 70,000. Then we will go to second realization. Second realization amount is 20,000 rupees. So that also used by the firm to settle the creditors. Okay, so creditors balance is 20,000. So the whole realization amount 20,000 rupees is used by the firm to settle creditors. So they paid 20,000 rupees to creditors. The balance due is entire realization amount is paid to creditors. So there is no money here. Then 20,000 creditors are fully settled. Loan amount is there 20,000. Capital is 1 lakh, 50,000, 70,000 because they are not paying any money out of the second realization to partners, A's loan account and capital account of all the partners. Then let's see the third realization. Third realization amount is 20,000 rupees. So here the creditor is fully settled, and then we have to, the firm has to settle the loan account of the partners. The loan account of the partner is 20,000. So this realization amount is used by the firm to settle 20,000 of A's loan. Okay, here the capital account is not settled. So the balance due is, the third realization amount is 1 lakh. Out of that 1 lakh, the firm first paid 20,000 rupees to the A's loan and settled fully the A's loan account. And so the balance due from 1 lakh, the firm uses 20,000 to settle A's loan. So the balance amount is 30,000. Here the capital account is not settled, and so the entire amount is unpaid 1 lakh rupees, 50,000 rupees and 70,000 rupees. Then out of this balance amount 80,000 rupees, they have to give first preference to, they settled creditors as well as the A's loan account, and now they have to settle the capital account of the partners. They give first preference to C to the extent of 30,000. See, we have calculated the absolute surplus. 30,000 rupees belongs to C. Okay, so C has to be given first preference to the extent of 30,000 rupees towards the settlement. Okay, so 30,000 rupees paid to the C, and so the balance amount is 50,000 rupees. 80,000 minus 30,000 is 50,000 rupees. Here C's capital is debited to the extent of 30,000 rupees. So A's capital account stand as it is 1 lakh rupees. B's capital account is 50,000. C's capital account first preference is given to the C because he paid excess amount above all 30,000 rupees. Okay, so that 30,000 rupees is settled. So his capital account now stands at rupees 40,000 rupees. The balance due, that is cash that is available in the realization of the third realization is 50,000 rupees. Still the firm has 50,000 rupees. Then balance due, the balance amount available is 50,000. Out of that 50,000, the firm has to settle capital yet to 1 lakh rupees for A, B 50,000, C 40,000. So here the firm has to pay A 16,665, C 6,665, total 23,330. Why it settles? Why the firm settles A and C? Let's see the previous working. So here the surplus is, the absolute surplus is 30,000. Before that the surplus for A is 16,665, C is 6,665, and so that amount has to be settled by the firm. Okay, first priority it gives to C. Then the A surplus is 16,665, C's surplus is 6,665, should be settled next. Okay, so A account is settled 16,665, C account is settled 6,665. So the balance due is the 83,335, 50,000 and 33,335. Okay, so the amount available out of 50,000, it paid, it settled A and B to the extent of 23,330. So the cash balance, that is the cash that is available in the firm is 26,670. That 26,670 is the balance in third realization. Okay, it has cleared all the surplus. First it settled the C to the extent of 30,000. Then it settled A and C to the extent of 23,330. So the surplus is over. Excess capital is settled. Now this amount should be distributed by the firm according to P&L ratio. The profit sharing ratio is 5:3:2. So if we distribute this 26,670 in the ratio of 5:3:2, A will get 13,335, B will get 8,000, C will get 5,335. So the unpaid amount is, balance due for A is 83,335. Out of that, from 83,335, if we deduct 13,335, unpaid amount or realization loss is 70,000. From 50,000, if we deduct 8,000, the unpaid amount or realization loss is 42,000. Then if we deduct the 5,335, from the 33,335, we will get 28,000 rupees. If you see, So the capital, unpaid capital is in the proportion of the profit sharing ratio, 5:3:2. Okay. If we find the ratio of, calculate the ratio of unpaid amount, that would be the profit sharing ratio. So 70,000 is to 42,000 is to 28,000. 70 is to 42 is to 28. If we simplify, we will get 5:3:2. That is nothing but the profit sharing ratio. The unpaid amount should be in the unpaid capital amount should be in the profit sharing ratio. Okay. Hope you understand this problem. In this way, we have to do the distribution of cash under proportionate capital method. Thank you.